We're on a worship for everyone morning. Everyone here, but also everyone over there. So I have a special helper this morning in Emma Hooper, who's agreed to bring the children round and to sit them down here. So I'm talking to the children as well as everybody else. So Emma, is there any chance you can bring any children that want to come round and sit at the front here? Got some questions for you as well during this talk. Brilliant. Come on round and sit down here. Thank you. And I'm going to be asking you some questions as well as everybody else. Is that okay? Brilliant. You'll have some good answers for me, Theo. So, as Charlotte said, we're going to be talking about we serve God when we help people, and particularly when we help people who are sad. And the way we're going to start looking at this is it's difficult to talk to everyone individually, so I like a sort of thumbs up, thumbs down approach. When we agree with something, we do this. Let's have a look, see if we can all do it. Oh, well done. Excellent. Disagree, we do this. Brilliant. Not sure, we kind of do this. So let's have a practice, shall we? Some practice questions with our thumbs up, thumbs down. I'll ask a question. Let's see how you do. You can gauge them, Emma, how they do. My name is James Packman. And you lot? Okay. What about today's Sunday? Yeah, we're going well. We got this. What about an opinion question? I love opinion questions. So let's think of an opinion question and see if we agree, disagree, or we're not sure. I think a good opinion question would be, we should stop saying it's coming home because the women already brought it home in 2022 and 2025. Agree or disagree? Definitely. What do we think? Yeah, you're up for that. You agree as well. Okay. Great. So we've got some questions. Now we've got the question we're going to be looking at. Our question is, let's imagine we're in a forest. There's no one there. We're not there. There's a forest and there's a tree, a big oak tree that's grown for 100 years. But it's become a bit old, a bit rotten. And one night, there's a bit of a storm. And the tree, because it's come to the end of its life, falls down. But there's no one around to hear it. So if a tree falls in a forest and there is nobody there, does it make a sound when it falls down? Have a think, and then we've got thumbs up, thumbs up. Ooh, not sure. Thumbs up. What about you guys? What are we saying? We've got mostly thumbs up here, that there's no one to hear it. We've got some thumbs down, and some people just not sure. Okay, so we haven't got everyone in complete agreement. You think it definitely? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's have 30 seconds trying to come up with a reason why it does make a sound, but trying to think about why some people might say, if there's no one there to hear it, it doesn't make a sound. 30 seconds, and 30 seconds with you, go. Let's see.
If it makes a sound, then it thuds on the ground when it falls down.
What if no one's there to hear it, though?
Well, they just won't hear it, but it's still...
Okay, so we've got a very good, clear opinion here. I reckon if I lean over, your opinion you just said to me, you could speak into this microphone. Go for it.
Because even if no one's there, it will still make a thud noise when it goes on the ground.
I think that's brilliant. Well, there was a man, an Anglo-Irish philosopher and Bishop George Berkeley. And he asked this question. He said, if there's no one to hear it, does it make a sound? And his answer, most people said, yeah, it does. His answer was, no. If no one is there to hear it, it doesn't make a sound. He said that there isn't a sound if no one hears it because of this famous phrase, to be is to be perceived, or in Latin, esse est percipi. To be is to be perceived. We need to feel seen. We need to feel heard, to feel like we exist. Now, at the 9 o'clock, I did mention something when I said this, and this doesn't pertain to you guys. I think it pertains more to husbands and wives. That sometimes, have you ever been talking and feel you're not heard and said something along the line, am I invisible? Anyone? Yeah. So if we're not heard, we can feel we don't exist. But even though we need to feel heard by our friends, by our family, by our wives, to feel loved, to feel cared for, to feel we exist, Bishop George Barclay says, God sees us though. God is here, always with us, and he sees us. And that's great for us, because when we feel lonely, when we feel sad, when we feel like we're on our own, if it's when we're in our bedroom, if it's when we're in the playground, if it's when we're at work, we know God is still with us. So we don't have to feel lonely. God hears us. And that means something really special for us, that God is always there to hear us, that we need to speak to God. God hears us all the time, even when we're lonely and sad. So when we are lonely and sad, we've got someone to talk to. And that someone is God. Well done. It also means it's important for us to talk about how we feel. If we feel lonely and sad, we don't just need to talk to God. We need to find someone to speak about that too. All of us, whatever age we are, we need to speak about it. Otherwise, we're hiding it inside, and we can feel like because of that, we don't exist. But we also, the third point, we need to remember to see and hear others. Really see them. Really hear them. So they feel like they're loved. They're cared for. They exist. They're a special part of our life. Now we're going to look at Luke 7, 11, 17. And I've got a cartoon to watch. For Luke 7, 11 to 17, we're going to see how Jesus sees someone when they're sad. Let's have a watch of this.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Aunt Fernita, and I have a wonderful story for you called Young Man, Get Up. Today's memory verse is from Luke chapter 7, verse 16. It says, God has come to help his people. The message for today's story is we serve God when we help people who are sad. Have you ever felt sad about something? So sad that you cried about it? Well, that's how the mother in our story today felt. Jesus walked from town to town telling people about God and healing the sick. His disciples followed him everywhere he went, and other people wanted to hear and see what Jesus was doing too. So a large crowd followed him from place to place. One day, Jesus came upon a town called Nain. In those days, the towns had walls around them with gates to let people in and out. As Jesus walked toward the town gate, he saw people carrying a coffin. A young man had died and was to be buried in the cemetery outside of town. His mother and a large crowd followed. Jesus could hear the young man's mother cry, and the crowd of crying people too. The mother was a widow, and that means that her husband had died. And now her only son had died too. Jesus immediately knew why she was sad. Her husband and her son had died, and now she was all alone. She had no one to help her, no one to earn money for food, no one to help her when she was sick, and no one to comfort her, to take care of her when she became old. Well, Jesus felt sorry for this mother, and he wanted to do something to help her. Quietly, he walked over to the woman. When the people saw him, everyone stood still. They stopped crying. Then they gathered around Jesus and the weeping mother. What would Jesus do, they wondered. What could he do? Jesus smiled at the woman and gently said, "Don't cry." Then he touched the coffin. When the people saw him do that, they all stared at him. What would Jesus do next? Then Jesus spoke, "Young man, I say to you, get up." The people must have been surprised to hear Jesus say that. Everyone knew that the young man was dead, and dead people don't get up. But when Jesus spoke, the young man sat up and began talking. Jesus gave him to his mother. Was she happy? Well, of course she was. She stopped crying and began praising God. The people were amazed. They were seeing a miracle. Their mouths must have fallen open in surprise. "God has come to help his people," they shouted. And soon everyone returned to the city, joyful and happy because of his love. God's care is so wonderful, and he asks us to help sad people too. When we see someone who is sick or scared or lonely, Jesus wants us to say kind words and listen to them, to comfort them. We can love them as Jesus does, and when we do, we are doing it for Jesus.
So, did you enjoy that? Yeah, good. I love that verse. When the Lord saw her, his heart went out to her. A crowded place at the town gates. One big crowd going with the coffin with the widow. Another crowd, Jesus going in the opposite direction. They met, two big crowds into one. But he still saw the lady that was sad. He didn't just see. What did he do? He saw her and he helped her. Absolutely. Well done, Theo. So 2 takeaways from this. Verse 16. God has come to help his people. He is here to help us when we feel really low, when we feel despair. He is there to help us. But we serve God when we help people who are sad. We are Jesus' hands, Jesus' feet, Jesus' eyes, and Jesus' ears. And do you know what? A mystic called Saint Teresa of Avila wrote these words to say just that. That because Jesus is now sitting at the right hand of the Father, God in heaven, we are to be Jesus' hands, Jesus' feet, Jesus' eyes, Jesus' ears, to see and to act. So I wonder, you guys, can we say this together? Is that all right? And if anyone wants to join in, let's read this on 3. 1, 2, 3. Christ has no body now on earth but yours. No hands, no feet but yours. Yours are the eyes with which Christ looks out his compassion to this world. Yours are the feet with which he is to go about doing good. Yours are the hands with which he is to bless us now. Amen. Thank you so much. Can we give Emma a round of applause as well for all the help? And all of these guys for joining in. Thank you.